Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Raya and this channel is all about makeup and beauty. And if you are a makeup lover or enthusiast like me, join the family by clicking the subscribe button down below. Today I'm gonna do a full-on review on the On The Run palette from Urban Decay. I don't know if this palette is still available in any Urban Decay counters or in their website or in Sephora website. So this is the On The Run palette. And this is actually a shortcut version of the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. Now, I asked my sister to purchase that Born to Run palette when she was still in the US. However, I think that palette was sold out when she purchased something from Sephora. So she got me the mini version instead. This is the On The Run shortcut palette, and the tones in here are pink tones and mauve tones and purple tones. So I decided to do a review on this one because it's just staring me at the face, asking me to play with it. I haven't played with it actually ever since I got this from my sister, so I think now is the time to do so. And I actually saw an Instagram post from a makeup artist, and I will show the picture right here, and I got really inspired by the tones of the eye makeup in this photo, and I think it's pretty much similar with the tones here on this palette. So that is what I'm gonna try and recreate on my eyes today. I have the rest of my makeup on so that we can breeze right through the eye tutorial. Okay, like any other review that I have done in my channel, I'm gonna start by commenting on its packaging. The box is quite well thought of. As you can see, the design is very travel inspired. It's actually quite a rip-off from the Born to Run palette, featuring like different travel destinations, and I like that idea because again, this is like a mini version of the Born to Run palette. So I think there are 3 types of On The Run palettes. The packaging is very beautiful, and I don't know, I think the people who designed this palette just let it run wild with their creativity and imagination, and it's such a nice palette to look at. So the packaging is cardboard, which I think is good, especially for the environment. And inside you get a nice mirror. You have the 8 shadows right here, and there are 4. There are 4 mattes, 3 shimmers, and then 1 transformer shade. Am I right? Yeah. So I think with this palette, you won't have to think too much or too hard as to what kind of makeup look you're gonna create, because it's well laid out for you. I mean, the color scheme is pretty much understandable, comprehensive, cohesive, and the colors work well together, so you won't be too overwhelmed when you see this palette. So I have the shade Sin, and this is a shimmer shade, which I think is very pretty, and that's just one swipe, and it's very reflective. I like that. It has some pink tone reflex to it, but the overall base of this shade is color white. Next is the shade Laced, and I don't know if you can see that, but that's one swipe of Laced. I'm gonna do another one like so, and this is like a transition shade with mauve tones in it, and it's just a regular matte. I actually feel that the mattes are really silky smooth. Next shade is this lovely pink transition shade. It's called Shortcut, which I think is the main attraction for the palette because the palette is also named Shortcut. Next is the shade AFTERHOURS, and wow, that's so lovely. It's like a gunmetal shade with purple tones and silver reflex. That's so nice. I like that. Next up, the shade Back Alley. Wow, surprisingly the formula of the mattes are quite similar with each other, and it's not patchy at all. Shades are pigmented, and this is just your standard deep brown shade. Next is Rendezvous, which is a deep plum shade, and this is also nice if you want your looks to be berry toned. This is a shade that you can use to really deepen up the look. Next is the shade Gash, and this is a cranberry shimmer shade. And lastly, this is quite a new formula. This is their Transformer formula, and this is in the shade Zone. Wow, that's so pretty. Zone is like a cranberry shade with gold glitters in it. That's so nice actually, and I think this will be a nice lid topper. So those are the 8 shades from the palette. I have the initial feel of the formula and texture of each shadow, and I think all of them performs well. It's very smooth, very silky, very buttery and creamy to the touch, especially the mattes, and the powders of the mattes are very finely milled, so I think we won't have any problem whatsoever. So now let's apply it on the eyes. I'm gonna take a fluffy crease brush like this, and I'm gonna dip into laced first, and I'm just gonna tilt my head back and begin putting this all over the crease. Formula is actually a bit powdery. I don't know if you can see that, hopefully you do, but I don't mind that one bit. I'm gonna jump into Shortcut, the nice rosy pink we have early on, and I'm just gonna blow this up on the crease area. I'm gonna disperse this even more than that laced shade because I want this to peek through. And then I'm actually gonna pinch that brush and run it on my lower lash line. I'm gonna switch to another brush. This is a precise crease brush, and I'm gonna dip into Rendezvous right here. This is the deep plum shade, and I'm gonna start to pack that in my outer V, making sure to flick it like so, and it actually meshes well with the other shadows. So far everything is just blending seamlessly, and I'm just making sure that it goes well and transitions well to the other colors that we laid down. So I'm just making small circular strokes with this. I'm also gonna take a bit of Rendezvous and connect it with the lower lash line. Taking the same brush, just a tad bit of Rendezvous and then more of the After Hours shade, that nice gunmetal purple, and I'm gonna start and pack it even deeper here in the outer V and still flicking it outwards. Spritz my brush and pack a little bit more of the After Hours shade. Alright, we're gonna head on to the star of the show. I'm actually gonna take my finger and I'm actually gonna spray this a little bit. I learned this from Ali Glein's video, and I'm gonna take this Transformer shade called Zone and pack it on the inner part of my lid, and would you look at that? That's so lovely. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And I actually think that it matches the one in the photo very well. I think we need to deepen up that outer crease again because some of it got blended away with the lid shadow. So I'm just taking my outer crease brush and packing it again. So the last shadow that we're gonna use is this shimmer shade called Sin, and I'm just gonna pop that on the inner corners with a pencil brush just to make that pop a little bit. And our eye look is done. I'm just gonna put some eyeliner, winged eyeliner. And I haven't done this in a long time, so wish me luck. I'll have to repeat this on the other eye. I'm scared. Okay, I admit it's not the most even winged eyeliner out there, but that will do. And I'm just gonna actually attempt to put on falsies just because the model in this photo had falsies. You know that if you've been a long time watcher, you know that I hate falsies, but for the love of this look, let's try it. I actually spent 20 minutes trying to put on these pair of falsies. For those of you who wear falsies every day, I have my greatest salute towards you. It's so difficult. Anyways, the falsies are on. It's time to put lipstick. And I'm gonna just attempt and copy the lipstick of that model. So I'm just gonna take a deep plum shade. So I actually just put that zone shade on top of the lipstick that I wore, and I think the effect that it gives is so beautiful. It's multi-dimensional, and I like that it's truly a transformer shade as the formula suggests. So let's give the final thoughts for this product because I am late for church. Anyways, this cost for $20, I believe, when my sister got it for me in the US because it was on a sale at Sephora. But I think the price tag justifies its performance. It performs really well on my eyes. I didn't have any trouble blending. It's very seamless, and the matte shades are very silky smooth and very finely milled that I didn't have any trouble blending it on my eyes. And the shimmers in this palette are to die for, especially these two shades right here, Zone and After Hours. They are so pretty, and if you are fond of wearing shimmery, glittery shades, then you will really enjoy this palette, particularly these two shades, because it just performs outstandingly on the eyes. Look at that. I just wet my finger and use that to apply this transformer formula shade in, and it's called Zone. And look at how foiled that shadow became and how multi-dimensional it looks on the eyes. It's actually very stunning, and I haven't encountered any formula that is like this, at least in my collection. So that's a bonus. And I think that the looks that you can create with this are very wearable. It's a very flexible palette. You can create everyday makeup looks and glamorous looks like this if you really want to, because you have these lighter shades up here and then your darker shades right here to add dimension to the look. So it's just very versatile, and it just depends on what kind of makeup look you're going for, what kind of mood you are in. And I think this is an all-around palette which makes it really nice to travel with. And I think that's the goal of this palette, to provide a go-to travel palette. The color scheme is very coherent. They go well together. All of the shades mix well together, and you don't have a hard time finding a look from this palette. If you stare at this palette firsthand, you can clearly have a vision or a picture as to what kind of makeup look you are going for. So that's nice, and I think this is a nice staple for makeup artists out there who really does makeup for a living. And I think these tones are very beautiful, especially these four, or this one, this quad right here, used for brides. I think they're gonna be marvelous. Again, you can do a lot with this palette, and I think that justifies the high price tag. Urban Decay is a high-end brand, and I think this is one of the best eyeshadow formulas that I have tried from Urban Decay, and I heard that their formulas in their eyeshadow palettes are quite hit and miss, so this is definitely a hit. So if you want to try any of the palettes from Urban Decay, I suggest you go for this one. If this is still available, I don't know if this is limited edition or not, but if it's available, then definitely grab this palette. And if the shadow formulas in here are the same in the Born to Run palette, then I can conclude that the Born to Run palette is also worth it as well. So yeah, I think that's it from me today, and I hope that I achieved the makeup look from that photo. Comment down below if you think this is close enough to that photo, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye! I am actually late for church, but for the love of makeup,